North Korea v US live, updates as North Korea refuses to halt nuclear development, latest. South Korea called for the North Korea to halt development of its missiles and nuclear programs on the anniversary of the start of the 1950-53 Korean War on Sunday. Speaking at a ceremony in Seoul, South Korean Prime Minister Lee Nak-yeom said, "The North continues provocative military actions such as launching a ballistic missile." Mr. Lee called for the North to stop developing missile and nuclear programs and come out onto the path of denuclearization on the Korean peninsula. But North Korea's state media rejected the calls, saying, "We should make every effort to strengthen our national defense with the nuclear capability as the backbone." Stopping the threat posed by North Korea is a top priority for Donald Trump's administration, and there is an ongoing show of American military might in the region. Emotions are running high in America after U.S. student Otto Warmbier died last week, just days after being released in a coma from detention in North Korea. Here are live updates and the latest breaking news on the North Korea crisis. North Korea v US live, updates as North Korea issues nuclear threat. Latest news 10:40 p.m. A video has emerged showing a North Korean soldier beating a woman unconscious for allegedly trying to flee the Hermit Kingdom. The distressing footage shows the security agent hitting the woman around the head before she appears to collapse. Captions on the video, which dates from 2012, say the agent accused the woman of attempting to flee North Korea and of sleeping with Chinese and South Korean men. 9 p.m. The U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has dropped China to Tier 3 alongside Iran, North Korea and Syria. The rating will be announced on Tuesday in an annual report published by the State Department's Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons. A Tier 3 rating can trigger sanctions limiting access to U.S. and international aid. 7:35 p.m. Donald Trump's administration is concerned about the conditions North Korean labor crews face in China, a congressional source told Reuters. Labor outsourced from Pyongyang to China comes at a time when the hermit state is being squeezed for money by international economic sanctions in response to Kim Jong-un's repeated missile tests. The news also comes with the release of a list of global human trafficking offenders, with the U.S. planning to place China on the list. 6:24 p.m. U.S. President Donald Trump is set to welcome his South Korean counterpart Moon Jae-in in the White House this Thursday, June 29. The two world leaders agreed to the diplomatic visit earlier in May, over worries about Kim Jong-un's nuclear weapon arsenal. 4 p.m. North Korean officials were amazed by Benidorm when they visited to look for inspiration for the secretive state's own large beach resort in Wonsan. A spokesman for the North Korean embassy in Madrid said the North Korean delegation was amazed by the dimensions of Benidorm's towers and holiday parks. 2:30 p.m. Japan has broadcast a TV warning urging citizens to lie on the ground or seek shelter in the event of a North Korean nuclear attack. 11:30 am. A leading North Korean sports official believes it is too late to form a unified team for the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, saying that political tension must be resolved first. On Saturday, South Korean President Moon Jae-in said he wanted the Koreas to compete as one team next year and highlighted the 1991 World Table Tennis Championships as an example of a previous merger. At 11 a.m. The new U.S. ambassador to China Terry Branstad has said that stopping the threat posed by North Korea will be a top priority. Resolving the bilateral trade imbalance, stopping the North Korea threat, and expanding people-to-people ties will be my top priorities, Mr. Branstad said in a video message. Donald Trump has encouraged Chinese President Xi Jinping to put more pressure on North Korea. But last week he tweeted that Chinese efforts have not worked out. 10 a.m. An editorial in Pyongyang state newspaper Rodong Sinmun said, "We should make every effort to strengthen our national defense with the nuclear capability as the backbone, and if South Korea truly wants to improve the Korean ties and seek peace, it should stop picking on our nuclear deterrent force and stand against the US's plot for a first nuclear strike on the North." 9 a.m. South Korean Prime Minister Lee Nak-yeon called on North Korea to stop its ballistic missile tests and nuclear program on the 67th anniversary of Korean War on Sunday. The Korean War started on June 25, 1950, when Communist North Korean troops launched a surprise attack across the 38th parallel into South Korea. US-led UN forces battled Chinese and Soviet-backed North Korea in the war, which ended with a truce on July 27, 1953. The two Koreas remain in a technical state of war. 8 a.m. North Koreans took part in a mass rally to mark anniversary of the start of the Korean War in Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang on Sunday. 7 a.m. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said he had pressed China to ramp up economic and political pressure on North Korea during his meeting with top diplomat Yang Jiechi in Washington last week. U.S. student Otto Warmbier has died on June 19, just a week after returning home in a coma following imprisonment in North Korea.